What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Building Endor in Lego series here on the channel. We are at week number 2. It's crazy. This week flew by. I'm not too sure what happened. I feel like just yesterday I released week 1, but nonetheless, guys, thank you so much for all the incredible support you guys have given me on week 1. It's probably over 20,000 views now by the time I'm filming this, which is insane. So thank you for all the support and the love. Now this week we are taking a look at a couple of different designs and prototypes for the actual lake itself of Endor. Now there's a lot of different options that I wanted to get, a good grasp of. I've been able to actually render some pretty cool ideas in Studio, which is a digital software, but it's not like actually having it in person. So I spent yesterday's live stream building basically a bunch of different ideas and prototypes to pretty much get everyone's opinion on what you guys think. So that's going to be pretty much today's video. Before we go and continue, huge thank you to the Building Endor in Lego series sponsor Firestar Toys. They've been generous enough to supply a bunch of really cool custom printed arms, and there's more stuff on the way coming very soon. So if you guys want to go ahead and support Firestar Toys and myself, use my coupon code BrickWiz15 at your Firestar Toys checkout in your cart. You'll save 15% off your entire order. Again, use that coupon code. Go take a look at some of their really dope products. They got a bunch of cool, awesome custom minifigures, parts, arms, accessories, all that good stuff. So go ahead and check them out down below. Now, since we actually had the first ever live stream of Building Endor, of course, it was also the first time where I unveiled the new Endor donation tiers, and I got a lot of people to thank here. Number 1, we have Snowball with a $100 donation, which was incredible. Shout out to Snowball. Also, shout out to Simple Nacho, Petra Verbruggen, Saint Zinker, and Bobo Brix. Everyone, thank you so much for your donations. Guys, all the donations go right back towards funding Endor and the mock itself in the series. A huge thank you to everybody who did donate on the Endor live stream. Again, now if you missed the live stream, don't worry. There are going to be plenty of them every single week. There's going to be at least one Endor live stream. So make sure you guys subscribe down below and also click that bell so you don't miss a single one of these live streams coming up in the future. So like I said, this week was a lot of prototyping. It's a lot of designing. You can see actually behind me, I have a bunch of really cool different ideas and designs that I'm basically going to walk you guys through, and I'm going to be labeling them, option number 1, 2, 3, and 4. I want to see what you guys think, essentially. So that's going to be the point and focus of today's episode. Of course, drop a like before we go ahead and get any further, but without any further delay, let's go ahead and jump on into Building Endor in Lego week 2 right now. So right now it is Saturday. I'm currently getting ready to go live on my channel with the first ever Endor stream, but I wanted to bring you guys a little update as to what exactly I'll be doing. So as you can see here, there's a bunch of different plates here. We have some medium azure plates, we have some water studs, we got all the trans black tile from the previous haul, some black plate, whole bunch of other cool stuff. Essentially what we're going to be doing on today's live stream and this week's update is basically prototyping different types of water designs for the lake. I know that Endor, the lake itself sort of looks like trans blue, but then in some pictures it looks black, so it's a little bit difficult. So essentially what I want to do is I want to get different sort of designs going on these base plates and show you guys and like give you examples of what each and every single one looks like. I can sort of gauge which design you like better. So we're going to be doing trans black tile on black plate. We're going to be doing trans light blue tile on water studs, on medium azure and sand blue, and then we're also going to be trying both those techniques on dark bluish gray plates as well. So there should be maybe like 3 different options or 4 different options by the end of the live stream. Like I said, this week's main focus is getting the design done, finishing and choosing which one we're going to be going with, and then we're going to be next week sort of translating all of this stuff onto a larger scale and like starting the actual bulk of the project. So I'm going to go live and going to work on some of these designs, and hopefully by the end of it I'll have some finished options to show you guys and get a gauge of what you guys think should be included on Endor. And also, before I forget, I actually did get some more stuff done with the minifigures here. You can see I've actually put all the Stormtrooper arms on. We have 50 of the Stormtrooper arms, which is what I got from Firestar. Again, use that coupon code. But you can see here, they're looking mighty fine. They all got the custom arms, which does look really nice. I'm actually happy I was able to finish this because this was really time consuming. Taking off the arms of each and every single one of these guys was pretty annoying, if I'm being honest, but I actually was able to sell the old white arms. So it's going to be going towards more funds for the mock, which is nice. But just a quick little side note, I got all those done. Still have a few more arms to get through. Fortunately, I don't have all the minifigures yet, like I said last week, but most of the minifigures in terms of the Stormtroopers and in terms of Inferno Squad and the Death Troopers right there are pretty much done. So quick little update on that. So after the live stream, this is pretty much what I was able to concoct in terms of the final product. So this is basically just a giant engraved base plate, but it has different sections on it. And these are the 4 different options that I sort of came up with, I guess, when I was on the live stream doing all the different designs and the prototyping and all that kind of stuff. So this is what I was able to come up with. Now there are pretty much 4 distinct sections. I mean, this guy right here and this one are pretty much similar. It's just a different technique underneath, but essentially there are 3 different ideas or techniques that we have. Number 1 is sort of like Scarif. This is a base plate that's consisting of trans light blue tile in medium azure and medium blue plates. You can see here the medium blue sort of symbolizes the deeper section of the lake, and then the regular medium azure sort of represents the shallow depths. Now to be honest, there really isn't a deep part of the lake, and this right here sort of reminds me of Scarif, and it looks beautiful. It honestly does, and that's definitely something I'm considering heavily. But the fact of the matter is, this is something that belongs on Scarif and maybe not necessarily Endor. So of course, this is one of the options. I'll actually just move it right here so you guys can see probably a little bit of a better angle. So again, this is like option 1. It's very Scarif-esque. It has a lot of the Scarif vibes, but I'm not too sure if it's something that I want to go for Endor. But nonetheless, that's one of the options that I have there. And now option number 2 is something that's very bland, in my opinion. Now what I'm actually going to do is take all the sections off. That way I can sort of show you them individually, so it's not just me like zooming in right here and here. So it'll give you guys a little bit of a closer look. Here is the second option. Now this is just a 16 by 16 plate. It's a dark bluish gray plate, and on top I've added some of the clear transparent black tile. This is probably one of my least favorite, if I'm being honest. It looks very bland. There's not much going on underneath the water and the lake, so I feel like the lines on the tile is really like accentuated. You could see it really clearly, and I just don't think this is something that I want to go with. So this is option number 2. I did want to make it just to see what it would look like, but I don't think it looks particularly good if you're looking at it from, you know, this sort of standpoint right here. It looks boring, for honestly lack of a better term. And that being said, right here is option number 3. Now this has a little bit of color. As you can see, there's a lot more texture going on underneath the surface. Basically, we have dark bluish gray, we have dark tan, and then brown. So this was an experiment in and of itself, just trying to see what looks good. So you can see here, I don't think the transitions between these 3 colors underneath the tile actually looks at all good, but I just wanted to see what the tile would look like just on top of the surface, I guess if you could say. That being said, I don't really think any of them work particularly well, especially like I said, next to each other. It doesn't really seem like a smooth transition that goes between either of them. So that's sort of not, you know, the greatest, but again, want to give it a little bit more texture. I think it's very obvious that that one is better than that one, but again, it's not something that I've quite found yet. Now, that being said, the one that I am particularly fond of and what I'm leaning more towards is this section right here. This one is a mix. It's basically black plate mixed in with dark tan plate and tile, and then on top of it is the transparent black tile. Now this is what I'm leaning towards. Not only is this more accurate in my opinion, because the Endor lake is murky, right? It's a very I don't want to say disgusting, but it's not clear. It's not like the Scarif one at all. So don't get that confused at all. If we're going for accuracy, I think this is going to be one of the better options. Now, for a few reasons. Number 1, it looks murky, it looks dark. And you can see here I've actually sprinkled in some dark tan plates around the areas. This actually looks pretty good. I'm actually thinking about going back and redoing it to tile to make it look like there's no studs underneath, which I think looks really nice, because you can see here the black plate and the black tile pretty much covers the studs that are actually on the black plate itself. So I think this is something that I think this right here is what we're going to be going for. Now, this is a very similar design to this one right here. And although this looks beautiful and all the blue looks gorgeous, I don't think it's what we're going for. I think it's more for Scarif. This looks Endor. This looks like the murky lake. It looks like the muddy waters of Endor. So I think this is what we're going to be going for. Something like this, sort of recreated on a grand scale, pretty much like encompassing this entire area. I think this is what we're going for. So just to go over the different options, again, this one was one of the first ones I actually did. This was the one with the black tile and the dark bluish gray plate. I think it looks pretty bland. I don't think it looks at all attractive or aesthetically pleasing, so I'm thinking we're not going to be going with something like this. This was the other design. I wanted to see what it looked like with different colors underneath. So we had brown going from right to left. We had a brown, dark tan, and then dark bluish gray. Neither of which really look good. I think the dark bluish gray looks somewhat cool, but other than that, I don't think there's anything too crazy about this one. Like I said, this is the one that I really want to go for. This is the one with the black base. It looks super murky, super like murky waters and just nastiness. That was like the Endor Lake. It's not crystal clear like the teal, like the blue that we just saw. That was sort of like a Scarif vibe. This one was very different, and I think it comes together really well, and I think it represents what we're going for more accurately. So the option that has like the Scarif water and it might be more physically appealing. Are you willing to sacrifice it looking cooler and not being more accurate? Are you a fan of the normal sort of very bland pattern underneath where it's dark bluish gray and then the tile on top? Do you want to see any of these colors recreated on a larger scale? Maybe dark bluish gray, dark tan, or brown, none of which I think actually look pretty cool? Or do you want to see this design right here, which is again what I'm leaning towards? This is the black plate with mixed in dark tan, and we're also going to have rocks and stuff like that. But this is right here, I think, is what we're going to be going for. Like I said, let me know. This whole episode's about getting your guys' feedback, you know, understanding where you guys, what you want to see. Of course, this is my mock, but you guys are an equal part of this build series as well. So, you know, sort of let me know what you guys think. Which one do you think would look better? Which one do you want to see me recreate? Do you want to see the Scarif version? Do you want to see the bland dark bluish gray? Do you want to see any of these three colors? Or again, what I'm more leaning towards, the black plates and everything on top. I think that looks better. But again, let me know down below in the comments. But that is pretty much everything I wanted to show you guys in today's episode. So let's go ahead and cut to the outro of today's video. So guys, that just about wraps up Building Endor in LEGO week number 2. Already 2 weeks into the build series. Kind of crazy. Like I said in the intro, it feels like just yesterday I was actually filming and rendering episode 1, but now we're already on our way to episode 3, which is kind of crazy. So guys, thank you so much for all the support. Couple of quick things. Number 1, let me know which of those designs you like better. I gotta say, I think I like the design with the dark black tile, the transparent black tile, and then the black and dark tan plate. I think that's the most accurate. I definitely am going for something different with Endor, and I've seen Endor mocks with all the teal colors with like the Scarif sort of vibes in the lake, but I think I'm leaning more towards that black. I think it's more accurate. I think it's different. I think it looks really cool. So the next few weeks of Endor are going to be pretty self-explanatory. Obviously, within a couple of days of this video going live, I'm going to pretty much focus and hone in on one of those design aspects for the lake, and that's going to be pretty much the focus point of the next week or two. It's a pretty big lake. It's at least 2 gray base plates in total diameter, so it's going to take a while to sort of get through all of that, but that's going to be the main focus of probably next week, is getting a really good idea of how large the lake's going to be, and also maybe even starting to prototype and design the actual Ewok village and the teepees that are going to be going on top of the lake itself. Quite simple. You're not going to want to miss any of these videos, guys. It's obvious. You don't want to miss these videos when they come out. You want to see them as soon as you can, so make sure you subscribe down below with the bell icon on. Of course, drop a like if you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you later. Take it easy. Peace.